Hello and welcome back to Nothing Shall I Want, Peace Through Detachment. I'm Connie Rossini. Today's lesson is Where to Go From Here. This is our last lesson in the course. I want to review what you have learned and then also give you some ways that you can extend your learning so that this doesn't become just a course that you once took, but that the course really changes your life. So what have you learned? Well, you learned that love is the foundation of detachment. You learned that both material and spiritual goods require detachment, but that since detachment is progressive, we begin with the material things. You have learned that John of the Cross said, the best way to begin is pondering Christ's life and trying to imitate it, and we do that through meditating on the Gospels in prayer. You have learned how to practice the custody of the senses and how poverty, chastity, and obedience are related to detachment. You have also learned what it means to be detached from people, especially as a lay person and a married person. And in the last lesson, you learned that trust is another way of looking at detachment, and that detachment requires humility. There is a quiz associated with this lesson, and it covers the entire course. Please take that quiz. It's for your own knowledge so that you can review and you can see any gaps in your learning. If there are any particular questions that you have trouble with, I encourage you to go back and rewatch the videos. All of the lessons will remain available to you until just a couple of weeks before I open the course up to a new group. And I will send you an email to tell you that that deadline is coming near. The videos themselves are all posted on YouTube, though not listed there. And I will send you in an email in the next couple of days after releasing this lesson a list of the direct links to YouTube. They will be available there as long as you want to access them. Please do not share the links with people who have not taken the course. Now, how can you continue growing? I encourage you to make a personal inventory. Make a list of all the material things that you know right now that you are attached to, and then choose just one of them to work on at a time. With that one area that you have chosen, make one concrete, specific resolution that you can put into place. For example, if you have an attachment to clothes shopping, you could make a resolution not to read the Sunday ads that come with your newspaper, or to unsubscribe from ads that come to you through email. By doing this, you are practicing the custody of the eyes, and if you don't see the ads for a product, you're much less likely to desire it. Once you have made that a habit, then you can choose another simple, concrete resolution. In this case, it could be going through your closet and giving all your surplus clothes to the poor. And when you've done that, then prayerfully discern what the Lord wants you to do next. Another thing to keep in mind is if you take out of your life something that you have been attached to, or if you greatly reduce the time that you have spent on it, there's going to be a gap in your schedule. If you don't fill that time with something that is going to glorify God or express love for your neighbor, you're likely to go back to the thing you are attached to or to pick up some new bad habit. Instead, fill it with something positive. For example, if you're working on detachment from romance novels, use the time to do spiritual reading instead. If you're working on detaching from the internet, use the time to get together with or call a friend or relative. If you are detaching from pop music, try listening to sacred music instead, and so on. You also want to have accountability so that you are encouraged and supported in your growth in detachment. The best source of accountability would be a spiritual director. If you don't have a spiritual director at this time, recruit your spouse or a close friend who has similar spiritual goals to help you. You can also pair up with someone who has taken this course with you. And I will leave room in the forums for people to post that they are looking for an accountability partner, and you can respond to one of those posts. Then you could meet with that person by Skype if it's not possible for you to meet in person. Whoever your accountability partner is, you want to make some kind of a schedule to meet with them regularly so that it goes beyond being just a wish. In between, I'd suggest that you keep a journal that lists your successes and failures. You can add just a few sentences to your daily prayer journal so that when you do meet with your partner, you know what to discuss, and that you on your own can look back several months from now and see how you have grown. Now for some resources to help you read more and continue learning. Most of these I mentioned in the course, but the first couple I did not. For more on St. John of the Cross's teaching, I recommend Union with God According to St. John of the Cross by Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene. This is really the best book out there about John of the Cross's teaching. If you want to attack John's works themselves, I recommend the collected works of St. John of the Cross, published by ICS. We mentioned a couple of Dan Burke's books in the course. Navigating the Interior Life helps you to find a spiritual director. And Into the Deep teaches you how to practice meditation on the Gospels. Father Dubé's book, Happy Are You Poor, was recommended so that you could practice evangelical poverty. And in the last lesson, I recommended my book, Trusting God with St. Therese, to enable you to practice detachment in the way that she did. I will have links to all of these books on the lesson page. There is also a link for you to write a review for the lesson. I appreciate any reviews you can give to help people know when I open the course again what they can expect. If you haven't participated in the discussion forum yet, it will still be open as long as the course is available to you. So go ahead, and even if you have to start with lesson 1, post there. For today's lesson, post any remaining questions that you have about detachment, anything that you didn't understand or I need to clarify, anything that you disagreed with that I said, or anything that I didn't cover that you wish I had covered. Let me close with Philippians 4, verse 8. St. Paul says, "Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is gracious, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." Thank you for taking this course. I enjoyed sharing it with you. May God bless you as you continue your journey of detachment.